Lights. Action. Oh my god. Hello. The thing that occurred to me just before I sat down, when I'm trying to think, really, what's going on? What am I going to talk about? Wow, the sun is coming right through a kind of prismatic thing in that window, and it's just like, woo, beamed me right in the eyeball. And now it's behind a cloud. And I'm tippy. I can see I'm tippy. I'm probably tippy. It was just the idea of wanting something and being scared of it, of drawing it in. When it comes in, it's like, oh, really? Is this actually works? It's here. And similarly, like not wanting to be drawn towards something, and you are anyway. We're not always in concert with what we want, with what we interact with. I was thinking like who we dance with. Sometimes my own the ideas that pop up strike me as pretty corny. But let's just take that idea of the push-pull of desire and fear, of knowing where I need to go, and being afraid of the need or afraid of the go. Things seem very quiet inside today. There's a peacefulness. Like I don't feel like I'm pulling one way or the other, resisting anything. Just feels very quiet. Like I'm in a still point. Give me a minute, I'll because the still points, the still place is always there. Our ability to kind of tap into it waxes and wanes. Because shit happens, and we get knocked off center or just have to adapt quickly or whatever it is. We're living a dynamic life. It's all in flux all the time. Except that core thing, whatever it is, that stays still. First card out is a card of block, of being at a crossroads, of trying to decide something. These are the glary cards, like the light through the window. Traditional Rider-Waite, it shows the person holding up the swords. And sometimes, and right now, I'm getting the feeling of like, this is something, a decision that can't be made, with that frontal lobe analytical brain. You just can't get there from here. So these are more like antenna. Who do I mean, those are in the days of rabbit ears, and I'm sort of talking to a specific crowd of people who know what an antenna is. But the two things that used to, on your TV or whatever, and you had to tune in. These are how we tune in. When we can't with our analytical brain, how do we tune in? And that cross-purposes decision does fit a little bit like, I'm at a crossroads. I want it, but I'm scared. I'm too scared to do this, but I'm drawn to do it anyway. I mean, all of that stuff. And it's happening in the head. None of it's getting acted on at this point. Hangman. The hangman. This is sort of it's kind of the same as this. Nothing's getting acted on it at this point. It had just come out of my face. That's this. That's being in a state of suspension, pending, the ability to move forward, getting the understanding you need, waiting for the, you're not quite right yet. No decision's been made. So you're holding up for the epiphany because it's not quite ripe. I get the feeling of like the fruit hanging from the tree. And it's about to drop, but it hasn't quite yet. It's not quite cooked. It's not quite right. And you're trying to figure it out. And you can't move while you're doing that. You're at that kind of an impasse. I think Hangman is one of the water signs. Maybe Pisces. But it's that trying to get the enlightenment. You see the, bugger me. Sorry. That's falling off the tree. Getting overripe, plunk. It's an enlightenment. But it's not a brainy enlightenment. You get there through your feelings. Through an understanding of what I feel. And it seems to me your feelings want to take the lead, and your brain is sort of saying, hold up, we don't really understand, let us tune in. Well, what you got to tune into is this out of analysis into feelings. And that's the major arcana energy. So they both indicate a hold up, but this is a mental block, and this is a kind of, it's not even a block, it's just, I am in the process of processing my feelings. And I'm almost there, my head is lit up, I'm almost there. You're almost there. We're almost there. And let the feelings take the lead. All right, said that enough. I'm trying to learn when I'm just being really repetitive. It's as much for me as it is for you, I guess. Anyway, this is it. Okay, there we go. One more, please. Inviting you in. Help us understand. Oh dear. 9 of Swords. Card of anxiety and stress. In sword energy. So, it's kind of trying to work it out in your head again. And really stuck. And it's very uncomfortable. I mean, this doesn't look uncomfortable to me. It looks peaceful. But the head is having a hard time with this. It's anxious over what's going to happen. What did I say? What should I say? Can I even communicate this thing? Well, and your brain sort of says no. There's a block. And it seems to me it's your fear. You're trying to tune in. You're kind of trying to see it from another perspective, perhaps your intuitive feelings perspective. But right now, principally, you're feeling that your mind is anxious. I do this all the time. I get into bed, I'm exhausted, and then it begins the sort of, it takes a while for the brains to calm down. For anything else to even get in. waiting for the brains to calm down. Okay, good luck with that. I work on it all the time. My brains are like a pinwheel sometimes. Tell us about this anxiety, this fear, this sort of your brain telling you to hold back, to block, to, doesn't want to tell me. Please tell me. Tell us. Tell them. Lovers. You're anxious and stressed out over this choice. I'm getting, for some reason, like you've committed to something, to a connection that you don't understand with your brain. It doesn't make any sense, to the point where it's got you doing this. Like, what is it? I can't even put a label to this. I can't get there by thinking about it, and yet I think about it all the time. But some sort of enlightenment is coming in about this connection. And it may be about, your ability to connect. But I think it's a done deal. It could be sort of, how long must I wait? And if this is the enlightenment, right? She's actually holding her head with all these thoughts. It's sort of like almost like the shuttlecocks, in the mills where people wove, those things would go back and forth, shuttlecocks. It's like mechanical, crazy brain. And I don't know what this card is, but it's an outlier, so let's take it. The new direction. It's not like a full-blown map. It's a potential new, and it's page energy. It's young. It's like a proposal more than this is the way we go, and I know it. It's sort of like the question. This way? So let's see what that is. This way? And it's a wand. What do I, and I always say wands are inspiration, creativity, forward movement, direction, and they are all of that. But they're also like a heart-related, like cups are your feelings, water energy, my feelings. And then wands are sort of like what I am inspired to do about what I feel. It's a warm energy. Being pulled by something intuitive. Can you tell us about this proposal? What is this new direction? Hopefully out of the, out of the anxiety. Yay, it landed on the chair. Out of the anxiety. Yeah. Into celebration, into joy. Move into joy. it seems to me we get the same basic messages again and again. Move into joy is a biggie. What direction do we go to get out of our head the dance of joy? With people. Go in the direction of with somebody. You know, don't agonize over connection. It's a gift. In the direction of lighthearted energy, of play, of reunion, of, you know, and this is in Cups energy too, this Hangman. So maybe the inspiration you've gotten, the epiphany, is how to move in the direction of joy. And for some reason I'm getting the feeling of like, you know, if you were in a mine and trying to find your way out, or in a tunnel trying to find your way out, you could feel the slight air on your face that this is the way. This is the way out. Page of Wands. You know, I can feel it. The joy is right around the corner. Oh, that's a lot. They're all major arcana. The joy is right around the corner. Well, it takes courage and strength and compassion for yourself in this process and for everyone. It's kind of universal compassion. You know, an unlimited, see the infinity symbol over her head. Unlimited compassion. And it loops around between these two characters who care for each other, who calm each other, who give each other strength. And it's almost like the strength to come out of your head, out of your anxiety, and kind of, you know, lean toward the light. That keeps coming up too. Find the direction that, you know, is the way out of the darkness. And this is that warmth I was talking about before, the Wands energy. This is Leo. It's like fortitude, the fortitude. Followed by Devil. Under lovers. And they're mirror images, right? The two people under the angel. The two people under the fallen angel. The light and the dark. And these complete each other in a way. They're a yin-yang, you know, the same way these guys are. The same way on that Lover's card those guys are. It's the meeting of the sort of your other half. And this is a card of it can be deep passion. But it can also be fear and what holds you back. Maybe fear of deep passion, for that matter. That somehow you become accustomed to the cold energy of the mind. And you want to go, I mean, that's that two thing we were talking about. You know, you want to get out of the cold place. But do you? You know, there's a little bit of that. Because some part of you is hanging on to something. And with Devil, it's like, hanging on to something that holds you back. You know, but it's right next to strength. Having the fortitude to two things, to be compassionate to whoever is in this state with you, because somebody is. You're stuck on each other, you're passionate, you're connected, almost to the point of codependency. But this is the best form of codependency. It's interdependency. It's caring for each other, and caring for each other when you're in pain. You know, overcoming something together. 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 Three of Cups. And it could be like Leo is summertime, you know, it could be a reunion of some kind that takes place in the summer. I don't know why I'm getting that. I usually don't get sort of timeline things. But this is like, it's beginning now. It may come to fruition in the summer. You know, because there is sort of that idea of the ripeness. I'm also hearing ripeness is all. I wrote that on as we had a bathroom in our summer house that became our winter house, our year-round house, 30 years ago. There was a bathroom with wooden walls, and we'd started drawing on them as kids, and just kept it up. And it, you know, it was basically my mother's bathroom, so it was a little weird, but you know, it was just covered. And one of the things I wrote on it is ripeness is all. It's a quote from, I think, from King Lear, and I just you know, because I think that's, you know, it's that thing you have to wait for. And my sister wrote back, ripening is all. And that's true too. But it's begun, whatever it is, maybe not thoroughly ripe, but like on the cusp of ripe. It's ripening, it's almost ripened. And perhaps there's some shadow work or need to release something to get that last growth spurt. Growth spurt, because this is the sprout, spark, it's the new thing. And it's literally sprouting, right? The wand has got leaves coming out of it. And it may be sort of like between spring and summer, between Page of Wands, the new beginning in that wand's energy, and the full-blown summertime it's not this. It's not hanging on to something that's holding you back. It's having compassion for yourself and for that energy of having to work on often tough stuff, things you don't want to let go of. Or haven't wanted to let go of. And the last card is Empress, which is like the principle of growth, Gaia, creativity, what you birth, what you bring into the world. You know, the sort of Earth Mother, the nurturing force in the universe that grows stuff. It grows this. And I still am thinking spring, summer, and that sort of makes sense. It's like a season you need to go through. You're not quite ripe. But when you're ripe, this is a card of like pregnancy. She doesn't look pregnant in this depiction, but in many of them it shows a woman with, you know, sometimes with the world in her belly. Divine feminine. you want to look at it that way. The principle of of birth, of creativity, of it coming right out of you. I think it's all the earth signs, as is Devil, Capricorn, an earth sign. So tell me about lovers. Empress on Devil. You know, it's sort of that double thing. Again, it's like, you know, do I want to birth this new thing? Bring it to fruition? Or am I going to hold back and resist it? Because of fear, because of codependency, or, you know, a fear of codependency? Am I going to hold that back? Well, you can't hold that back. It's like the dandelion coming through the crack in the sidewalk. Only this is like a sequoia. It's big growth. So what starts as a sprout becomes the creative life force. I mean, it's like a huge. We have now 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana on the board. This is big. Okay, tell us about lovers, please, this big connection. Wow, that's a lot. Let's see if we can, okay. Okay. Lovers. Well, first off is a card of defensiveness, blocking, resistance. But it could also be standing up for something and resisting all these other things demanding your attention. You know, you're fending off the other demands. Maybe to make this choice, to this commitment. And it could be you're defensive, you're having to heal something that made you feel defensive. I'm not sure. You need more time to heal something. Magician. No, you don't. You don't need more time. You have everything. I mean, everything you need. You just need to know it. I think to know that you're already healed. You know, you might need another 4 days. You know, it's that idea again of being, you know, really, really ripe, really ready to get off that, out of that suspended place and begin this new thing. And this might be, you've been defensive about, you've been resisting something, but you're healing that. What was actually a mental energy, what we saw at the very beginning, the block, the anxiety, the healing. And I don't know why I said 4 days. That seems awfully, you know, awfully quick. But this is sort of like Shazam. You can do it as soon as you are ready to come out of this sort of respite, this last little bit before you get down off this tree, you know, that you've been hanging from, ripening. You can bring it in, or at least begin. Whoa, Nellie, the process of bringing it in. Begin the process. Because it's like a law. It's not necessarily a long gestation, but what you're birthing is big. And this was on the bottom of the deck. The Four of Wands. In that warm, heartfelt energy. I swear to God, we keep getting this card as we wind down toward the end of the reading. The union, the celebration, the summertime, warm coming together card. The warm coming together card. The celebration. Having maybe overcome this shadow work, you're able to birth this quite with somebody else. You're not doing this by yourself. 2 people on Devil card, 2 people on Lovers. I dare not, but I have to. Okay. You know, just for a certain symmetry on the board, I wanted to pull one more. And it's looking toward the future. What have I manifest? You know, are my ships coming in? Is it coming in? I've put in my order. Bring it. Is it coming in? 3-4 usually indicates like on the right track. It is, it is coming in. And, you know, the song again, Summer is a coming in, loud as in cuckoo. It's a, you know, one of those oldie songs. Oldies but goodies. It's coming in. The warmth, the summer. I mean, Empress is very much of its fertility. It's sort of the height of the coming to term, even. Like, you could look at it that way. I'm ripe. I'm full term. I think that's it. You're ripe. You're full term. And you're you know, you're on that absolute brink. And you may already be there. I mean, this is a card of waiting. But it's really not for long. I mean, it's not for long. It's starting now. It seems to me it comes full term in the next few months. And by height of summer, fully ripe. Ripeness is all. All is ripe, you know. I think that's great because, you know, there has been a wait. There has been a wait. I think the waiting is over. You know, it's beginning to be. It's beginning to be over. The beginning is beginning finally. I'm glad. I'm glad, and the push-pull seems to go in the direction of. It's here. It's ripe. No more resistance, devil energy. It's kind of overcome by strength. Working with the shadow of this connection, with what was maybe unrevealed or not being looked at and should have been. It's now out in the open. It's lit up. You're lit up. Light it up. See ya. Oh yeah. Yeah, please subscribe. It's free. It's reversible. If you don't like it, you can get off the bus at any time. You just pull the little ding and, you know, that thing on, well, buses. I don't know if they even still have them. Next stop, you can get off. And then you could get back on again later. But it you know, it just helps us build the channel, and we're doing it. I'm very excited we're doing it. And so keep doing it. And this just helps it circulate. so that more people see it, so that YouTube recognizes us here, whatever it is we're doing. You know, it's beginning, it's growing. And in the next few months, hang on to your hats, peeps. Love you guys.